What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Brass Ring Media Podcast for Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. Happy to be here. I'm Zach Haydorn, your host. That is Tyler Sage. He is your other host. Tyler, sir, what's up, man?
Hey. A lot going on. A couple shows this weekend.
It's a busy weekend. Yeah, 3 if you count NXT.
I know. Too bad. If the roles were reversed, do you think Tony Khan would do like anything to do the show in Tampa? I guess vice versa, right? He's one not to chase like a WWE date, but
yeah, it's crazy. I think if he was in a position to do it, he would do it. Which is why I don't blame WWE for doing it, because for running opposite, because it's the spirit of competition,
Yeah, it's not the same day either. It'd be different if it was like was NXT on Sunday?
NXT is on Sunday. Yeah, they're running like that direct, almost the same exact time.
Okay.
So shots fired. But I think Tony Khan would fire him if they could. I think they would. And what's wrong with that? I mean, I just don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, it's like, there were 3 Monday. Because wasn't ECW on Mondays?
Maybe, yeah.
Like before Vince was sending payroll checks.
They might have been. Yeah, god dang. Yeah, that's 3.
Rob Van Dam was Mr. Monday Night, right? Wasn't that his moniker?
Yeah, Mr. Monday Night. That's right. I forgot about that. Yep.
Well, there's 3 things going on at the same time. The business was, I think, okay. From
it was
okay.
I have a question to start off. Did you know, were you aware that WWE put Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton in a ring together on SmackDown? Were you aware of this?
I was, somehow. It's not. I do have social media though, so yeah, it's funny. Like the over the head pounding you get on WWE. Like it's almost nice to watch 45 minutes delayed some of these pay-per-views, so you can skip all the video packages. Because I get it. Hey, if you don't watch TV, here's the story. But it kind of null and voids you having to watch television the way they do such a good video package. And they're so good at beating you over the head with everything. And yeah.
Dude, I was just last night I was watching Raw and covering the show and all that stuff. And I was just to me, it's one thing if you're going to do video packages and stuff like that for your own storylines, right? Because you could feature different stuff and you can tell, but this Halliburton Brunson thing, Knicks and Pacers, was just it felt desperate to me. It felt like it was desperate WWE, trying to get mainstream attention in the worst way. And they felt like a little brother, yapping at the side of Big Brother entertainment entity like the NBA, give us attention. And I'm just dude, can we just act like you guys have been there before? Yeah, it's cool. And yeah, it was a thing. But my God, they had Halliburton on TV. Then he was on the Raw post-show thing. And then they did the full, it felt like a pay-per-view world title recap of just a stare down between Brunson and Halliburton. I was just good grief. Come on already. I don't know. I just was rolling my eyes at the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm looking to see, I don't know, I have NBA playoff ratings. So quick AI search says they get on average 3.7 million viewers per playoff. So you're in the same geographical place as WWE.
Yeah.
You're half of what an NBA playoff game is. It's certainly AEW does better than NHL games. That'd be if you had Connor McDavid on AEW, it'd be well, he can come if he wants to get his brand over, but we're not doing anything to pump him up, right? He needs us more than we need him. So similar-ish, you don't need a shirt, the bet,
right? Sure.
The bet thing is fine, right? If they're fans and it's fun, and you can see McAfee in a suit, that's all I would do with this. Yeah. Maybe make reference to it and hey, check it out and have it on Twitter or whatever. But yeah, to do all that is I did not think we'd be talking about this at the top of the show, but yeah, it is interesting.
The issue that I have is not that they do it. it's like do the bet and whatever. Remind people that Brunson and Halliburton were in the ring. In your ring, like that's fine. It's just the beating the head, as you mentioned. Like, we're gonna beat you over the head with this. We're gonna make sure you remember, make sure you know that these two NBA guys were in our ring. Oh my God. And it's just like, I don't know. Just do it. Just tell it and say it and remind people, whatever. It's fine. We get what you're doing. But it's just the relentlessness of it is what seems desperate to me. Dominic D'Angelo, our partner in crime here, says it's WWE's worst trait sometimes in overdoing the hype. LOL. Go Knicks, though. Man, yeah, I'm kind of
Certainly go Knicks.
Right?
As a Cavs fan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm a Bulls fan, but I mean, it doesn't really count, you know? Like, the days of Knicks versus Bulls is just, it's nothing now. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's sad.
They're the plucky underdog, the New York Knicks.
They are.
Yeah.
Except, are they, though? They're still the Knicks.
No, I know. It's like the Maple Leafs, right? Like, they haven't done anything in 50 years. Like, they haven't won a title. When's the last time the Knicks won a title? 72? Maybe Dominic or another.
I mean, I don't think they've been to an Eastern Conference Finals in
2000
years.
99, one of the two. I think the lockout.
Like that. Yeah, it's been a while.
But yeah, so like it's they're like the Maple Leafs, right? They haven't won anything in forever, but everyone still hates them. So it's like a fun place to be if you're a fan of that team. You hate it and have nothing to show for it. Kind of like a Browns fan. Like, don't people hate the Browns? So
No, I don't think people hate the Browns. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't.
I certainly do.
Dominic also says here, the coolest thing they could have done was pay money for My Way, Limp Bizkit song, and made a sweet video package. Halliburton and Brunson, baby. Halliburton and Brunson. So yeah, I don't know. Just think about it. Just it was on my mind last night watching. So I figured, hey, I got this podcast, let's freaking talk about it. But it's not all we're going to be talking about today. We got a big agenda. And let me just run down the agenda for the week here at Brass Ring Media. First and foremost, shout out to Dom D'Angelo, who just dropped his brand new Brass Ring Media show on Monday. So yesterday, the first ever Daily Wrestling Hotline aired on the Brass Ring Media YouTube channel. It's also on the podcast feed. It is really a great show and a great idea. Just snackable, like one topic, analysis takes. Today's is Logan Paul World Championship material for WWE. Yesterday's was about El Grande Americano, and is WWE going a little too far in kind of making fun of the Lucha Libre culture with that. So check that show out if you haven't done so already. It's going to be a Monday through Friday thing. And again, it's quick. It's quick little, very snackable, easy to digest and fun to digest shows. It's the Daily Wrestling Hotline, and it's right here on the Brass Ring Media YouTube channel from Dominic D'Angelo every single day. So don't miss it. If you're listening right now on Twitter, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss that. And you can also, like I said, if you want to get that on the go and get those shows on the go, you can download us as a podcast and just search Brass Ring Media in your favorite podcast app, and we'll be there. So we'll have another show on Thursday that will be a full Double or Nothing pay-per-view preview coming out of AEW Dynamite on Wednesday night. Tonight, we're going to preview Saturday night's main event as well. Yes.
Can we do it now while there's 6 matches? We
should just start previewing the AEW pay-per-view.
As it's like, oh my God, 6 matches is going to be the best pay-per-view of all time. All these matches are going to be 30 minutes. It'll be 5-star matches. It's going to be awesome.
Oh my God, I love that idea. Yeah. Because that unfortunately we'll have to talk about whatever ROH title match is added.
Yeah,
but
for sure. That. Something like
goodness
that.
Gracious. That's Thursday, the marathon show. So make sure you put in your calendars or your phone.
Rehydrating as we speak.
Start hydrating now. We have a lot to get to on that, but we're going to save the AEW Double or Nothing preview for then. I'll be doing a member-only show previewing the NXT, or maybe both of us perhaps if we have time to do that. But there will be a member-only show that previews NXT. So you'll get a full preview of all the big shows that are happening this weekend. You'll also get the Kick-Ass podcast on Saturday and a Double or Nothing post show on Sunday night from Robert on the Nocturnal Knockout feed. So we got a ton going on this weekend. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss any of it and you get it in full, become a Brass Ring Media member right now. Patreon.com/Brass Ring Media. You get all sorts of different perks as a member. You get all of our pay-per-view and PLE review shows, which this weekend is going to have Double or Nothing. So you'll get your full review of Double or Nothing this weekend, plus access to our Discord community, plus specialty shows from myself and Tyler, a member-only show once a week, and tons more. It's only $4 a month to do that. It's patreon.com/Brass Ring Media. And thank you in advance for giving us a shot. We'll work hard, myself, Tyler, Dom, and the team to earn your business. And we thank you in advance for that. Special shout out to our Brass Ring Media Gold members who are in the chat right now. Sean Palikta, who is there. What's up, Sean? And also Adam Kidd is there as well. Adam says here, what's up, everyone? What's up, Adam? So good to see you, man. And Dom, good to see you too. And Sean, good to see you as well. So we're going to preview Saturday night's main event. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about last night's episode of Raw. Sean here says here, Raw was fine, but not fantastic. The Halliburton stuff was okay. It doesn't bother me. It is what it is. And I'm sure that's how a lot of people feel, but I wanted to rant on it today. I just did. But Raw. So we don't have a Gunther match on Saturday night's main event, which is why I want to talk about this outside of that. Last night on Raw, Logan Paul starts the show, runs down Jey Uso, getting, more heat than anybody really on the show period at this point, whether you're Seth Rollins or, anybody on Raw or on SmackDown, John Cena included, Logan Paul is getting a ton of heat. And, you'd think you'd want like a good baby face to kind of stand opposite him in the ring. But instead, Gunther walks down there. And at first, I was like, okay, this is interesting because you got heel Logan Paul, you've got heel Gunther, and it started down the path of Gunther kind of feeding Logan Paul's ego, right? Like, hey, man, like you could really help me. You could help me because I'm a heel and you're a heel and we're going to get along. And you can help me with social media and you're this megastar, blah, blah, blah. But then it turned. And the turn is not what I like, is where I kind of stopped enjoying the segment. When Gunther kind of like laid it out and was like buttering Logan Paul up, only to pivot and go, but if you win the championship, I'm going to destroy you and take it back. Like that got a crowd pop. And it to me, it totally like neutralized Gunther's heat. It made Logan Paul's heat not as strong either because there wasn't like a strong babyface to go up against. So I just don't know why they continue to muddy the waters with Gunther. I get that. Look, you want to make it seem like Logan Paul can win this match against Jey Uso, et cetera, in this main event. I'm sure that was the precipice for this happening. But to what end? If you ruin two of your best heels with that strategy, like it's not a good strategy. So I don't know what they are doing with Gunther. You mentioned off air that you've got a opposing view on this. Let's hear it. Talk me off the ledge because I'm willing to take a step back, but I don't know. It just seems silly to treat your heels like this.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the point of like the booking pattern that makes sense here. Where like, yes, the goal of this is to make you think that Logan Paul can defeat Jey and like kind of sells in a better way, right? This sells that match for me as an audience member than, there being a contract signing between Logan Paul and Jey. I mean, I think it's muddied in the main event as well because that puts like the focus away from this as like your big main event of your thing coming up.
Yeah.
So it was a strange choice for both of them not to interact and interact with other people and kind of tell you, yeah, this is like totally skippable. That's the thing. But here's what this has to be, in my opinion, or like they hate Gunther, right? It's like there's two options here. I do think this is like a dry run on him being a babyface.
Really?
Like and like seeing how he interacts, because like you said, Logan Paul is getting the most heat of anybody in the entire company. You see Gunther out there, you do that because like a lot of what Gunther is doing and has been doing, right, is you could see it with a babyface tint, right? The shaking the hand of Pat McAfee, right? That was head scratching and confusing.
Yeah.
But that could lead to, and like him talking about McAfee, like, hey, like he even like said, gave him some flowers in this as well, talking about like, hey, he came in here and took it like a man, basically, right? So I do think, again, it's one or the other at this point. Either this like a big laugh at Gunther and like to treat him like absolute garbage and see like how much people will go with him based on like being the worst booked character in 2025, or I do think it's like the babyface turn is happening. Now, would I be doing that? Is like my rebuttal to myself? Certainly not. Because like that show needs more heels currently than it's got, right? But maybe if you're going to turn Sammy, maybe you do the double turn with those two. And that's like a pretty good pivot of like Gunther's a babyface and Sammy is a heel. From like how you build your show out, Gunther can be that kind of IC mid-card babyface, while Braun and Seth are, and that's like someone that they can take on if you want to have that be a long run. So I do think that is what we are witnessing. If it's not that, I can't defend it in any way, shape, or form.
Gunther as a babyface is interesting. I mean, like I think there is potential there for sure at some point, whether it's now or later, I don't know. But I will. And I think if once Seth gets the title and he's like your top heel on the show, which I think will happen at some point this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to have baby faces to work with him, and Gunther would be a good one. Seth would be good foil for Gunther, I think, as a newly turned babyface. The thing is, it's like it's one thing to like turn babyface, but it's another thing to like turn babyface with impact. And I just think like when you straddle the line for a long time, it doesn't get people excited to eventually get the go ahead and get the permission to cheer you. It's just kind of like, well, we're not sure how to feel. Like you're kind of like, you're working with, you're going to wrestle Jey on June 9th and he's a big baby face, but like now you're running up against Logan. And so kind of like you, and you're kind of like this gimmick that we can kind of get behind because we appreciate the wrestling ring like you do. And okay. But to me, I think the baby faces that have the most impact when they turn, it's like, bam, go, like boom, you're a baby face now. And it's because months and months of momentum have eventually turned you that way. And then, man, you go and the crowd's ready for you. Like, I still think they need to set that up for Gunther. Like, straddling that line, I don't think creates that kind of tidal wave of momentum where, this is a bad example where it's like Austin is a heel. He's a heel. And then, eventually, he turns babyface and the crowd is ready for that to happen. They've set the table for that. Those are the best babyface turns. And I don't think he's on that type of path right now. So it still feels like, even if he's going to turn babyface, that he's being sabotaged in this because he's not getting clean. He's not getting clean, a clean storyline either way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When's Money in the Bank is what? Late June?
A couple weeks. June 8th or something? June 7th?
June 7th. Okay.
It's
Here's
coming
what
up.
Yeah, so Gunther's match is June 9th, right?
That Raw. The Raw after.
Here's like what I can see happening, right? I think if you had to choose like the men or the women, which one like has a quick cash in, I do think the men's side is more likely, depending on who wins. The women's is like, if it's a Roxanne or someone like that. Not a Freudian slip. Let's avoid that. But maybe there's like maybe this is like why this weird match is happening, right? To announce it weeks ahead. Gunther's got this match on June 9th. It's maybe this match happens. Jey wins, like a back and forth, pretty even. Gunther doesn't do anything underhanded because he never really does, right?
No, yeah, right. He never really does, right? Yep.
And someone comes in to cash in, and Gunther like gets in and like defends Jey, and like is the in between and doesn't allow that person or they try to cash in, and Gunther maybe like chops the hell out of him, or does something where he's like, no, that's not happening. This guy beat me clean twice. You're not going to be the one to do this. And that's like his way to like, that's like the respect thing like he had with McAfee. He has that respect with Jey, defends Jey from getting, maybe it's Braun Breaker, maybe Seth Rollins, right? They come out there and try and sneak a win, and he defends Jey. He like gives him a nod or shakes his hand and walks out. And that's like the start of his babyface turn. Like that makes sense to me.
And I think that would put him on a better path. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it's like not like, hey, like, no, I'm still the ring general. I respect my opponents, but like he's still like kind of that tweener. But yeah, he can build from that point.
Yeah,
that makes, and just like all this happening, and then that could be the opposite. He could help the person turn up, have Jey win, and then it doesn't make any effing sense. But it seems like if something happens relatively soon, it makes sense to me on what they're doing here. But again, I don't want to like go out on a limb and defend Gunther booking. That's you would have lost the argument for the last 6 months. So
yeah,
I'm just saying like it's either that or like I literally like he's going to win like an award for worst booked character in 2025.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, and it's I just think that he's got so much potential, but you got to have the good booking around it. So let's go to the chat here and see, because we got a good conversation going about a lot of stuff, about babyface turns and about this particular angle specifically and all that. So let's start off with Sean here. Sean says here, they teased Gunther and Paul, which was good to at least make you think Jey might lose. He's not, but it made sense. I want Gunther to crush Logan now. Yeah, exactly. And I think like that's now if things go the way that you're saying that they could go, Tyler, having that type of psychology out there of, man, we want to see Gunther just destroy Logan is good for a babyface turn. But if you're not turning him babyface, you don't want your crowd thinking that as, Gunther's just destroying Jey on June 9th. So that's where it gets muddy. Sean says here, Gunther needs to be
undefendable if it's not kind of the way I just laid out. Maybe not exactly that way, but like if he's not on the path to like transition here, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, right. Adam Kidd
doesn't make any sense too. Like the June 9th match doesn't make any sense if it's just business as usual. So sorry. Go ahead.
Well, right. Or like, I don't know. Like, could you? I mean, because so on June 9th, there will be Money in the Bank briefcases out there. So, it could be something, I don't know, something with that, which is why they decided they got to
also
put this out there.
Does that mean Jey's definitely not defending that thing in Money in the Bank then?
It would kind of seem that way. Yeah.
So it's a Cena match. Cena and R-Truth, or is that on SmackDown?
That's on Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's non-title, so.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I blocked that out of my memory.
Yeah. Adam Kidd says here the creative has been bad with Jey. More on that in a minute, Adam, for sure. I definitely want to get into Jey because he's a big part of what's going to happen this weekend. Derek Hubbard in the chat says, I like having unique types of characters that are true to their constitution as long as they fall in an easily identifiable category. I think Paul and Gunther are both firmly set in a heel position. Okay. I think they are until you have they are. It's just a matter of what Sean just mentioned. Like you're generating buzz and hype for Gunther to hopefully beat up and destroy Logan Paul. And that's very non-heel, at least for most people, on the planet. Adam Kidd also says here, I see this stuff with Pat. Anyone that ever stood up to a bully, the bully usually respects it. All right. I can buy that. Adam. Good. It's a good point. Derek also says here, for me, I'm tired of the shocking turn. I am more into a character growth and development that emphasizes virtue over vice, leading to a more authentic turn. It's well said, really well said. And I agree. Like, you want to put these guys and women on a path, and again, build that momentum from an audience perspective. Like, you started, it kind of seemed like it might have been going that way with Dominic, and then that was, squashed as well. So I'm totally with you on this. Totally with you on that, Adam. Let's see here. Adam Kidd also says June 7th. It's Money in the Bank. My son's wedding. Oh, that's awesome. Congrats, Adam. That's a big, big day. Not because it's Money in the Bank, but because it's your son's wedding. That's awesome.
Yeah, but they should do like where they throw the bouquet. Should be a Money in the Bank briefcase that they can cash in a marriage at any time of their choosing.
I love that. Maybe, yeah, like, is someone gonna jump off like a ladder or something that day? Like your son coming in from the top rope to say "I do."
Lots of tables at a wedding.
Lots of tables at a wedding. Lots of tables. Don't give them anybody. Adam says here, someone's getting speared. I mean, the liquor does flow at a wedding usually. So, I wouldn't put it off the table. Jey Uso is going to wrestle in the main event of Saturday night's main event, and he's wrestling Logan Paul. Like, how do you grade him so far, as being a babyface that's taken on top heel? I mean, I think, as I said last week, Paul's a really good opponent for him. But you want Jey to hold up his end of the bargain as a babyface, and I think he's been doing like a suitable job at this point. But where are you at on Jey?
Are we doing like a star rating? Are we doing an out of 10, out of 5, an ABCD?
Yeah, I'd put him at like, if we're gonna do an ABCD, I'd put it at like B-. Like, I think it's like B-. He still gets good pops. He hasn't really had a title defense yet, really. Am I missing? Yeah, he hasn't had that.
So him and Seth was for the title, but got DQ'd.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll get into that too.
Yeah.
But I just think, like, he seems over still, and seems people are still into him as the champion on the show. So that's why he's not getting an A grade. He's not getting a high B grade. But I wouldn't give him like just an average grade either.
Yeah, I'd give him a C, not a C plus or C minus, a C. Okay. It depends, right, what that rating is, depending where you went to school, right? Certain. So I guess we'll go like that's like a 70 to a 79 percentage points, like in a class as a C. So yeah, I'll go there. Certainly, if I had to put money on it, this is his one and only world title run in his career. And that's like maybe a good idea for something like a ranking system. Like, how many guys are one-time world champions? It can't be many. Like, most probably had multiple runs. Like, who's currently that's like on the roster as a one-time champion? Priest, Kofi, Jey. Did Drew have more than one? Or is he a one-timer?
He's got two.
No, I know it's a good exercise, but like,
wow, yeah, it really is.
It's like an interesting group. Kevin Owens, thank you, the boss. So, that's just current wrestlers. I'm sure there's wrestlers, from the past that are all one-time things. It just feels like, as someone who is that, he's going to be an upper mid-card singles act for the next 5 to 7 years. So for that, it's a C. It's not like he's getting cut next post WrestleMania, right? That would be an F. That'd be like Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, who's another one?
Is he a one-time though, or is he a multi-time? I think he's a multi-time.
Yeah, I think he's just a one-time.
One-time, okay.
Someone's got me on that, but I would put a lot of money on that.
Yeah, so he's not. That's an F run with the title. I will hinder the gender, but it's like that level. So it's a C. Fine. It's getting us to SummerSlam, and I think probably his story, obviously his bloodline stuff, his stuff with Roman is better than this. His stuff post this, if Sammy screws him over, and that's like a feud that those two have, that's better stuff than what's going on during his title run. So for that reason, it's just okay.
Do you think that – so they got the thing on June 9th. Seth Rollins is hovering over this championship stuff with Jey, but also he had the interaction with Gunther or with Logan Paul and Gunther, both of them last night on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Kidd suggests here, does Seth end up winning Money in the Bank? Like, is that – are we set up for a Seth Money in the Bank win and then like a Seth – some kind of Seth cash-in on that June 9th show? It's a possibility. I mean, I think it's a possibility because he's hovering around all of that. Logan and Gunther and Jey and Punk and Sammy. Like, he's just like kind of like, it's almost like he is the champion, but he doesn't have the championship. So It feels to me like, whether it's June 9th or, I could see SummerSlam as a, you do Jey and Seth, like that's a pretty big SummerSlam match. Maybe you do the title change there, but I see why, Adam, you're kind of going down this route because he is so intertwined in everything involving the title picture right now.
Yeah. Here's what I would say as a rebuttal to that is like, what's more likely a match of Money in the Bank? Is it Jey and Sammy versus Seth and Braun Breaker? Or is it Sammy, Braun, and Seth are in the Money in the Bank match? I think one's a way better option, but I think that the worst option is probably what happens, which is the tag match. So
that's a way worse option too.
Yeah,
by a wide margin.
Yeah, because like any of those three winning on Raw is interesting for lots of different reasons. Obviously, the Seth thing we're talking about, Braun, his relationship with Seth, if he wins that, because if Seth wins the title and then Braun's got that thing, obviously juicy. Paul Heyman, where does he go? Mm-hmm. Sammy, he's got it, so he's promised Jey never to use it. All that sort of stuff, right? I mean, Sammy would be my pick to win that thing, honestly. Yeah. But so I do think they'll do the tag match instead. But I like Seth. I don't know. I mean, he's the most over he's ever been is WrestleMania 31 and J&J Security after that. Like, do you recreate that in its own way? I don't know. I think that's like kind of a net negative for him and his character if you have him win in that way. And I think if I'm Seth, I'm advocating for that like I can win this with some shenanigans, but I don't need the Money in the Bank to do
it. Yeah. I think that if Seth wins too, you almost want to get more out of that, because he's like another heel Money in the Bank. He's got obviously that iconic Money in the Bank cash in at WrestleMania. Like, you almost want that to like, if he's going to win it, let that linger a little bit longer to get more mileage, out of it. Sean, our gold member, Sean Palikta, I think has an interesting point about Jey that I want to bring up here. Sean says, the fan interaction really helps the people stay into him, and he does have a fun charisma about him. And he's had the fun total story arc. That is like kind of the essence of what I like about Jey. The matches aren't great. There's no question about it. The promos aren't great. No question about it. But I do think it's hard to find like genuinely over baby faces that people care about. And I think in this case with Jey, because I think that common sentiment is that he is a one-time champion. Like this was like a one-time thing, going to run with it, and then he's going to lose it. To me, like it kind of makes like all title matches like more dramatic because I can just see, WWE blowing it up at any minute, right? It's not like when Will Ospreay wins the title from Jon Moxley, where it's going to be like, that you're going to get like a decent sized Will Ospreay title run. With Jey, though, it's like you got to worry every time the title is on the line because he could lose it at any minute, because that's just kind of, I think, the champion people see him as. So I think it creates some interesting drama. And then you have like the fans on this worrisome journey, like for Logan Paul at Saturday Night's Main Event. I think there's going to be some people worried at times, like, holy crap, they might actually put the belt on Logan Paul here because it's Jey. And, he's not like this dominant dominant champion. So I think that, along with what Sean's talking about here, is going to make for some interesting title matches as this goes by from a crowd perspective only.
Yeah, except Logan's new dumb reality show's on Max, so he's on the enemy side.
Oh, yes, that's right. Is that going on right now?
I saw that when I was watching Dynamite last week. I saw.
Have you seen it? Have you watched it?
No, come on. Are you kidding me?
I just want to know.
I want you to call somebody if I'm watching the Logan Paul reality TV show.
I'm going to say, Tyler needs help, guys. He's watching Logan Paul reality shows.
Yeah. What's called 811 or whatever. Is that to dig, though? Is that
God, I feel like we should watch it and then like do a Patreon show for it because it could be hilarious. Live watch along. But then we have to watch it. And that's not something that I want to do. Oh, man. Good point, Sean. Really, really good point. I think it's a good call out, even if you're not into Jey. And, I think a lot of people recognize it for what it is. Like, popular guy has not come around from an in-ring perspective or promo perspective as a single star, and has a lot of work to do in that regard. He hasn't caught up to the size of his reactions.
Well, have you know, the boss, I've never had any prime in my life.
I have not had any prime either.
I've never had a Zen.
What the hell is that?
You don't know what a Zen is?
No.
Are you a white man in America? It's like the dip stuff that's like pure nicotine and not tobacco.
Oh, is that like a Logan Paul thing, though?
No, I mean, like, it's the same vibe.
Oh, okay. No, I've not. I don't know what Zen is, and I'm not.
Well, I get an offer to Zen every time I'm at a bar. So
interesting. Man, boy, I feel like
any Zen users, let Zach know.
I feel real old and sad
experience about that.
All right, let's continue on here. Sean, our gold member, says, can we talk about Zoey real quick and the injury? How did that happen? Should she have tried that drop kick with Kairi Sane so far away? Oh man, yeah, that was brutal. That really was brutal, and it's a stark reminder that, like, you watch wrestling.
Is that Freudian slip, by the way?
Yes, it was. God damn it. Sorry. It's a reminder. It's a cold reminder that you watch wrestling 5 times a week. If you're watching everything, Dynamite twice and TNA and all this, like, it's a reminder that it's dangerous, like what they do, and it kind of was a freak act. I took that more as a freak accident and not so much something that she shouldn't have tried, Sean. I mean, yeah, Sane was a little far away. But like her foot, if you watch it back, and I did for some reason, like her foot gets caught. It kind of like gets caught on the ring, like the ring mat, and she just keeps going. And that's what tore everything up. But man, it was really bad. And I hope that she's okay. I mean, you don't wish that on anybody, and she's already had a significant knee injury and, has just really not been able to catch any kind of momentum at all. Like, not just because of the injury, but just in general. And I hope that she can at least come back and make another go of it, because that was nasty. That was really, really nasty. And I watched that, and you knew right away something's wrong there. I mean, she just crumbled, like her knee just exploded. It was really, really bad. But no, I don't think. I think how it happened is, she just jumped, and it was a little too far, and her leg got caught underneath her, and body goes one way, leg stays, and that's not a good recipe there.
Yeah, it reminded me of, do you remember the Willis McGahee injury?
Yes, yep, very much so. Yeah,
one of the worst injuries I've ever seen. That is similar. He came back, was an NFL. He played for the Bills, NFL running back. So, hopefully a long road to recovery. So good to be under contract with a company like WWE while that happens too. It's supposed to be on the Indies and have that happen. So, let's hope the Fed doesn't fed and do what they usually do with people that are injured a lot. But, I think there is a lot there for her. if Lyra Valkyria gets the push that she gets, I think Zoey Stark is similar boat of like talented and so hope the best for her. Yeah, it's just a freak accident. What are you gonna do? It's something you do like literally how many times has she like maybe not pulled that exact move, but it happens, right? And you gotta change your style. So no more of those, obviously, when you get back. And there's lots of wrestlers that change their style. Think of as when we talk about Seth Rollins here, right? Two kind of really bad knee injuries, and he's been really good for what's been like 8 years since he had like any sort of major injury. Change his style, and like there's ways to do it and get over even more over than you ever have been. So hopefully she can get there.
Yeah, I mean, and Derek is interesting. I didn't know this, Derek. Derek says, I will not take credit for training her, but she started training with me when she was 17. All she ever wanted to be was a wrestler. She dedicated her whole life to the craft. Yeah, and that's the part that's, tough to swallow when anybody gets injured, right? It's like, anybody that gets to WWE, whatever, regardless of how they get there, whether they're a college recruit or whether they're somebody on the indie scene, like, I think that people have different paths there, but everybody works really, really hard to if you're on Raw. Like you can't get there otherwise. And so, with Zoey, it's like, yeah, you've seen flashes and you've seen pieces and she's good in the ring. And I think, she's missing a little of this, a little of that, but, in order to find it, you got to be on TV. And that's the bad part about, these injuries for anybody. But this one in particular was brutal. Like the shriek that she lets out is just awful and just bad. And, look, here's to hoping she comes back, and maybe for somehow it's not as bad as it looked or as it seemed. But I think it certainly looked that way. So
here's hoping all talent gets as much ability to get over as Karrion Kross has gotten, is what I will say.
Wait, keep going. What do you mean?
I mean, hey, when's the last time that guy wrestled a match?
He's like cashing merch checks like crazy now.
I know he's like a top merch seller, but like I'm saying, like when did he get called up to the main roster? Like when is he wearing like the leather daddy stuff?
Oh God, and like the mask. Like 21. Oh geez.
Vince was around. So
Vince 21? Was around. Yeah.
So like, it's been since then that he's been employed when a lot of other people got cut from that company, and has been able to like have fun vignettes and slowly get over as a character. Yeah, I just hope that like that same energy is there for other people that are way more talented in the ring than he is.
Yeah. Yep. I do too. Yeah, good topic, Sean. Glad we got to hit that, because it was gruesome and it was bad and just yikes. Karrion Kross, real quick on him. Like, I don't know what you do with that guy. Like, he's like, I don't know. I think that there's, and I always say this, there's different kinds of over. And just because you move some shirts or even a lot of shirts, it doesn't mean that you should be a guy that, WWE positions for, a main match at WrestleMania or a pay-per-view main event or anything like that. Like, I just think that, like, some people can move merch and get over in different ways, but like, even though Karrion Kross has this momentum, would I try to give him a little something from a booking perspective? Absolutely. Would I take him off main event and put him on Raw? Yes, for sure. But I don't know, man, that I'm hitching my wagon to Karrion Kross just because, he's selling merchandise. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just not. It's like Rusev Day over to me, where it's like, yeah, it moves a lot of shirts, but like, does it have a shelf life? Probably.
Woo.
There's another good one. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, like, what do you do with the guy? I mean, can he feud with who's the Intercontinental Champion right now? Yeah, as Adam Kidd says here, IC. It's like one brain. We have one brain. Who the hell's the IC champion right now?
Oh, Dom.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, could you put him in something with Dom? Like, people are going to cheer Karrion Kross now. So, like, you know, I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have him like beat El Grande or something.
Okay, yeah, okay, so that works.
Like he can be Ray. He can be Ray and Penta's like buddy when they're attacking.
I don't know. It just seems like I don't know. I mean, would you look at that and go, "Oh wow, we really need to push Karrion Kross to the moon"?
No.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Just making sure that it's not just me because he's getting a lot of love out there.
I think he sucks. So that's just like I've always thought he sucks. I thought that's like one of the darker days of NXT is when he's like running through people. But he's not my kind of wrestler. And like I do think his stuff backstage is fun, but there is like a limit to that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But that's just not my. That's like he's very a WWE wrestler. Anywhere else, he is like, a guy who's a personal fitness instructor. There's not like AEW is not anything for him too. So he's very much like he better make it work here, or else it's not going to work anywhere.
I think that's correct. Okay, let's preview Saturday night's main event, and let's quickly go get some official predictions on the books for Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. It's a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Jey Uso defending against Paul. I'm taking Jey here. I know that you could make arguments for Logan Paul. I mean, certainly, but I'm going with Jey. Like I think this is again an opportunity for him to wrestle a big match, heel opponent, but I see no reason to take the title off him at this point, especially if you're going to do some kind of cash in. Like Jay's the perfect guy to do it on because he's just this sympathetic babyface, and so I think it works better than somebody cashing in on Logan Paul. So I'm taking Jey, and I'm taking Jey pretty definitively here.
Yeet. That's where I'm going. I'm going with Jey as well. What's like Logan's biggest win in WWE?
Let's see. Ray?
Yeah. He beat AJ, right?
He beat AJ. He beat Ray. He beat Ricochet. So one of those guys.
Yeah, he did not beat Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns,
Cody.
He won't beat John Cena if he faces John Cena for some reason.
Yeah, and I don't think he's beaten Jey either. I mean,
Jay's above Ricochet, AJ, and Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
And that is like not the dirty secret about Logan Paul, but like that's what people know. He gets heat, but like everyone knows like he's not getting above that threshold if he's not like a full-time guy, if he's like a guy who's a part-timer. So for that reason, amongst many others on this story, like Logan Paul being a world heavyweight champion is a bad idea for multiple reasons, for like what that means for your roster, your company, the PR, all that sort of stuff, right? You're on like you're in a different wavelength.
Yeah. And I just think that it gives, like you had Kenny Omega last week saying, hey, WrestleMania in a couple of years is going to be like the Beast YouTube guy against Logan Paul. And it's like you look at that, you hear that, and
there's a Bobby Fish video I would play in response to
that. Well, it's just like, I mean, it's a crazy thought, but like you're halfway there if you put the title on Logan Paul. It's like I just think you just got to draw the line somewhere, and that to me is it.
I mean, you could have Travis Scott and Bad Bunny both wrestle at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and Logan Paul. Like he's going to wrestle at SummerSlam. So yeah, like I just they got to cool it. They got to cool with that, and I think this is the role that you use Logan Paul for. Like you have him, beat up on guys like AJ and like Ray and like Ricochet and all that. And then when it comes time to do a job, you do a job at a bigger level like this, or like to Roman or to Cody or whatever. So I just think that's how they're going to use him. And this is going to be one of those cards. They're gonna like Triple H is gonna turn in the card and go, all right, Logan, time for you to lay down. Time for you to lay down. Everybody read the chat.
You can beat Pentagon in 2 weeks on Raw.
Yeah, you can beat Penta in 2 weeks on Raw, or Tozawa or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Adam says Jey wins. Sean says Jey wins. Sean also says no. Travis Scott, absolutely not. Sean, get ready.
Well, I know Sean bought that elite package, the $40,000 tickets for the front row of SummerSlam. So I hope you enjoy it, Sean.
Get ready, man. I really think, And Adam says I want to fight Travis Scott. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd pay for to see that.
I just want to reiterate that, like those seats, when you see everyone camera front row at SummerSlam, they paid $40,000 for those seats. And when Travis Scott is in the main event, and it's absolutely dog bleep, I'm going to be laugh so hard at all those. I don't care how much money you have, never spending $40,000 on a live event to see Travis Scott wrestle with John Cena.
Dude, it better come with a gold-plated chair or something. And even then, it's not worth $40,000. Speaking of John Cena, he's going to wrestle R-Truth in a non-title match. That's key. Do you think, Tyler, that there is any chance that we see the return of Cody Rhodes and Cody costs Cena this match against R-Truth? Because the title is not on the line. Like, could we see, like, remember when the Hurricane went over on The Rock all those years ago, like on a Raw match, thanks to Steve Austin's interference? Like, could this be that? Is R-Truth going to beat John Cena?
The Cody part of this is like, okay, so it's got to be a SummerSlam rematch then, because you can't like interfere with him like that and wait till December, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. Right? No, I don't think so. Yeah.
So I think Cody's got to come back and be immediately interfered with somebody like else. Like Drew McIntyre's got to get in his face immediately, and they have to do like a 3
Or it could be in Money in the Bank.
Yeah. So like, I'll say no for that reason, because it makes no sense unless they're going to do Cody Cena, and they could do like the Cody and R-Truth versus Cena and Travis Scott as the tag match at SummerSlam. So like, that's a long way to get there. Is that early August or late August?
Early August. So,
yeah. So if that's the case, maybe that's where they're going. I mean, that's crazy to like extend that sort of feud that long. But is Little Jimmy at ringside? Have they pulled that trigger yet? I haven't watched it.
Not yet. Oh, God.
If Little Jimmy's at ringside, I do think, if everyone remembers, that's the invisible friend of R-Truth. If he's there, I think he might have to give the power, and maybe Cody's Little Jimmy, right? And then we're all just like, then hey, maybe let's just cancel being wrestling fans at that point. If we're like having invisible friends and Cody Rhodes is the invisible friend and Travis Scott's involved. I mean, yeah, maybe we all take like a 2-week break and just like kind of reset and think about what we're doing with our lives,
including Paul Levesque.
Yeah, I would say Cena losing to R-Truth in any way, shape, or form would be a huge mistake. So I'm going to go with no. I think John Cena wins this match.
Yeah, me too. I think it'd be an absolutely ludicrous way to treat John Cena on his retirement tour, especially if you really want to get him over as a true heel champion, regardless of who takes the belt from him, whether it's Gunther or Braun Breaker or whoever. Like you don't lose to R-Truth. Can't happen. It just can't.
And I would prefer, from a Cena perspective, if he does not win via belt shot. I think that's been a pretty ineffective heel move for him thus far.
Especially against R-Truth. Like, it's one thing if it's Randy, but like R-Truth, he should just be able to beat R-Truth.
Yeah. Like, has Cena hit the 5 moves clean, like in a row yet?
I don't think so. Not to get a win.
Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty much like a boring John Cena taking out whoever.
Until Cody comes back. And John says here, I think Cody comes to the ring after Cena wins and destroys R-Truth. That makes sense to me. Cody making the save for Truth.
Yeah, that's the way to end the show. You're excited to see Cody.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Adam has it here, says, I think this is the start of Cena going back babyface. I'm interested in this, Adam, because I I don't see it at this point, but why is this the start? Like, give us a little bit more to sink our teeth into. Why is this the start of that for Cody? And while you do that, we'll preview another match here. We've got Damian Priest against Drew McIntyre in a steel cage match. Tyler Sage's favorite stipulation match that there is.
With the stupid door. Even better in WWE with the stupid door that the ref opens.
Who are you taking?
I think Drew wins the series. So that's 1-1, right? This is the rubber match. I think Drew wins. I think Drew Cody.
Wait, has Damian Priest won a match?
Because Drew won Mania.
Drew won Mania, and I think that's all there is.
Oh, didn't they wrestle before? Was there like or were they in like the Elimination Chamber together? Maybe that's where this started, right? And then they had a match because they were involved in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and then they were both involved in the Fatal 4-Way at Backlash. So
yes, okay. So
there.
Mm.
Well, while you think of that, that's why I'm going with Damian Priest. I think that Damian Priest. I think like if you want Damian to potentially, I don't know what's going to be in the cards for John Cena, but he needs baby faces to work against on SmackDown. So Damian Priest could be a guy that gets a TV title shot or another Saturday Night's Main Event title shot or something like that. If you want that for him, or you want that possibility out there to make sense, you put him over here. Plus, I don't necessarily think this is the end of Damian versus Drew either. And if Damian wins, then you've got a rubber match to go do. If Drew wins, it's just kind of over. And neither one of them really have anything big on the other side of this. So I think if you're Drew McIntyre, you're like, hey, like maybe Damian should go over here just so we can have like another match to do. So I'll take Damian.
Yeah. Especially this is not a big, if you're Drew, you want to give the win here and not give the win at a pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Who are we collectively slotting Goldberg against? Is that Drew at SummerSlam?
I was slotting him against Gunther.
I don't know about that anymore.
Which I don't know.
It might be Goldberg and Cena at some point.
Seriously. Yeah, that Gunther, the Gunther Goldberg prediction gets worse and worse by the week.
Yeah, but again, if he baby faces and then like destroys Goldberg in a retirement match, I mean that might be a perfect baby face moment.
Ultimate baby face.
Yeah. If he just like if he no-sells with the spear in Goldberg's last match, oh man. I'd be so hyped for Gunther if that was the case. He'd be my actual ring general if he did that. So yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna go through still, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's just a steel cage, and it we'll see what happens. Maybe they both fall out at the same time through the door, or some stupid crap like that. WWE's I don't trust them on anything, so there's probably some sort of interference by somebody or something like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, and you think cage match is supposed to be something like a definitive end to a feud, but we just know now. We know that it's not that. It's not that anymore. So it makes you think. Mm-hmm. Mike is in the chat and he says, "Our truth for the win." Mike's going out on a limb. I love that. All right, Adam jumped back in here and talked about Cena's babyface turn and says Cena showed some conflict after his match at Backlash, and Truth is trying to make Cena see the light. Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, so that storyline is going on. My take on that is they're using that story for heat. They're gonna have Cena just I think there's a chance that Cena could just totally squash R-Truth and they try to just get a ton of heat out of this. But I think they've set that storyline up, Adam, not to go babyface yet, but to just triple down on. No, we need this heel thing to work for Cena for whatever we have planned coming up. We need heat bad, and I viewed it more that way. How about you, Tyler?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's who, especially in the John Cena verse, who has more babyface sympathy than R-Truth? Literally nobody in his entire career. And obviously CM Punk, but that's a different level of. That's just hey. This is for the soul of wrestling, et cetera, et cetera. This is straight up supervillain, superhero stuff.
Yeah. All right, and then last but not least, we've got the big tag match. We've got CM Punk and Sami Zayn against Bron Breakker and Seth Rollins tag team match. You had last night on Raw, final build with shocking. I know everybody was stunned, but a non-finish in the main event. Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker. Seth Rollins gets involved, and Jey wins via disqualification. But after, you got a big stare down between Punk and with Punk and Zayn opposites Breakker and Seth. A huge pop for CM Punk. Like, that was a really, really strong reaction, which is crazy. Sami Zayn, also a strong reaction. So I think this match has some heat behind it. I think people want to see, Punk and Sami, get a victory. I think this is likely to be the match of the night. I think if I had to put my money on it, just because I think there's anticipation for it, and clearly, people are interested. And, at some point, if you're Paul Levesque, you got to address the CM Punk pop. And I think you got to look at that and go, okay, it's not going to last forever, and he's not going to last forever. Are we getting the most out of him right now with those pops? And I don't, maybe they are. Maybe this is a good spot. Big tag team match, Saturday night's main event. We don't know what he's doing at Money in the Bank yet. I'm not arguing one way or the other at this point, but those types of pops don't grow on trees, and you want to get the most out of them when you can, especially with Punk, who is just always, to me, just one step. Like yesterday when he jumped off the guardrail to go brawl in the stands, I was like, oh God, don't jump. You're gonna break your ankle or something. It's that type of uncertainty, if you ask me. So go with it, but maybe this is them going with it.
If you're the booker, right, you get the book, and it's August 20th, right? That's post SummerSlam. Who are your World Heavyweight Champion and your WWE champions? You personally.
Me personally,
mm-hmm.
Not taking into account anything that's already happened.
Correct.
It would be probably, let's see, it would be CM Punk
as
the World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
And Cody, I think, as the WWE champion.
Yeah, so that means Cena loses at SummerSlam to somebody.
Yeah. Although I think I am in the camp of, like I am with Jon Moxley, that I think that they've got something brewing with Cena. So I probably.
That's why I asked you, because you get the book today, so everything. You're not Bischoff and 2000 and every title's vacated.
Okay. No, then I think I would keep the title on Cena. I think it'd be Cena and Punk.
Okay. That changes what you do here then and what you're doing. It's an interesting question, right? Because if you're on the path of Seth Rollins or CM Punk, what do you do? I mean, obviously Punk is better chasing, but if he's losing to Cena at SummerSlam, does that start get people to be like, okay, well, we're never going to do this Punk thing, are we? He's never going to be champion in this run. He's never going to be that main event guy that we think he is.
Right.
And if it's Seth and he's chasing Seth, if he takes it off Seth and the champion through WrestleMania, I think that's probably what I would do. So my answer would be Seth and Cena would be my two for that reason. That
wouldn't be my initial thing, but I just honestly I'm nervous about the chase if you're Punk, because you want to set that up. In an ideal world, you set it up now.
Or you can flip it, and this. I'll answer this match too. But I think if you have Punk win Money in the Bank and he screws over Jey Uso and he's a super heel, and this is the perfect time to turn somebody when they're as over as he is.
Yes.
And him and Gunther could be that flip of where you are in your roster, and then that what do you do with Seth? It's kind of admitting that this didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing, but hey, business is business, right? As a guy who's not a CM Punk guy and is a Seth guy, I would probably do what I just said and have Punk turn, and then you figure out what you're doing with Seth after that point. But with this match, who's taking the pin? I don't think Braun's taking the pin. They defended him. They protected him last night. I don't think Seth is either. I think Sammy's taking the pin.
Yeah, I think Sammy's the one.
So I'm going to go with Seth and Braun.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going to. And I think Sammy takes it. And I hope that I hope it's not just Sammy doing a job. I hope that like it ties into future Sammy, right? Like, do we get a Sammy heel turn? Like, does this start him down the path of like, man, I just can't win anything. Like, and maybe I do need Heyman's help or something to that effect. Like, I just hope that it's not just, the Sammy does a job and that's it. Like, because I think that you can get this, and Adam is again reading my mind in the chat here. You can get, I think, more out of a Sammy loss than just someone's got to do the job. Like, I think it can mean more for Sammy in particular, especially if he is going to maybe go heel at some point, or just chase the world title. This can be a chapter in that if WWE lets it. But yeah, there's no way that Punk is going to lose here, and frankly, there's no way that Braun Breaker and Seth should be doing any kind of jobs at this point. Like, they need to win. They need to win. They need to establish themselves. This has to be a strong showing for them.
Yeah, and it should be the main event. I don't think it will. I think Cena is obviously the main event, which is crazy. Cena and R-Truth with main event. That just means Cody's appearing in some way, shape, or form. If this is, if it's not the main event, I think obviously no Cody. That's the only reason you would have that main event, in my opinion.
Right. And I mean, even with Cody, R-Truth and Cena. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is Cena. Like, you can't.
It's in Tampa.
It's in Tampa. Yeah. We have a question. Adam says, could a new member cost Punk and Sammy? What do you think? A new member to the faction?
I guess. Who are we? I certainly don't think it's Logan Paul.
No, it's not Logan Paul. No.
I don't know. Am I missing it? There's no one that's coming to mind.
Becky? Just throwing it out there. I'm not advocating one way or the other.
What's Jeff Cobb's new name? JC Chazé or something?
JC oh geez. Mateo. JC Mateo.
Okay. Very stupid. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't think of anyone that is even like remotely in that doesn't have anything going on that could pop in. So yeah. I don't know. I would say no.
I would say no too. And I think that you want this duo. And I'm not like, down the road you may get a third member here, but for right now, this is their first match and their first like real big time, pay-per-view match. Like, you gotta put them over strong as a duo.
Yeah.
And I think you gotta have them just win. And yes, Sean says here, Bronson Reed isn't ready to come back yet. No, right. He'd be a guy that you could think potentially put in there, but he kind of serves the same role as Braun Breaker, though.
Are there any NXT guys? Can like Seth Rollins have his own version of the Shield?
I don't think there's anybody in NXT on the men's side that stands out. I mean,
who's the Randy Orton clone guy? What's his name?
The who?
The Randy Orton clone looking guy.
Oh, Miles Bourne.
Is that the guy who's wrestling Obafemi, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He does look. He's not.
No, he is, but no, he should not be the guy.
Yeah. But like he looks like Randy. I saw a picture of it. I was like, holy crap.
The shaved head, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't think of anybody that would fit.
Yeah.
But hey, that's good. Maybe if it does, it would be a surprise and be like, oh, cool, that works.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you. We'll wrap up the show there. Appreciate it. Appreciate you joining. If you watched us on YouTube, thank you. Make sure that you like the video if you can, and subscribe. We'd appreciate that. Tyler, I'll call on you.
What if it's Aleister Black? Does that fit? I don't think it does, but he's the only person that hasn't re-debuted that is like out there in the ether.
Well, he's back.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's been back for weeks.
Oh, okay.
He's firmly in the lane of traffic on SmackDown.
Is he on SmackDown? I don't watch SmackDown.
Yeah,
so.
He's firmly in the lane of like Andrade, I'd say. He's like a better Andrade.
What a shock. I cannot believe that the grass was the same color on the other side of the fence. Exactly. I mean, he's got some wins. He's on TV, but couldn't happen to a more average pro wrestler.
He's beat The Miz. And I think he just beat Carmelo Hayes, so that's not a good spot for old Carmelo. Not good if you're him.
Yeah.
Losing to Aleister Black is not what you want to be doing.
Fridays are tough for me, Zach, to watch stuff. So if there's ever a good SmackDown, you gotta let me know.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know. SmackDown's just been okay lately. Like it's 3 hours, and that really hurts it. I mean, it really, really hurts it. It's going to go back to 2 here soon, but the 3 hours, I think really, I mean, it just, I don't know if it's like the psychology of it being SmackDown, and like SmackDown just for so long was a 2-hour show that it stings more to watch that for 3 hours, but it's true. It's harder to get through than Raw was. Even in Raw's worst days, like I just think it's harder to get through SmackDown. Like it's fine, but man, 3 hours is long.
So I'm hearing Friday Night Collision.
A little bit, except and Cody's hasn't been on it for like a month, and that's also hurt it pretty badly as well. All right, guys, we'll end it there. We'll end it there this time. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Head over to Patreon. Check out our membership tier options. We've got all sorts of great perks, multiple member-only shows this week for our members, and so much more. Patreon.com/Brass Ring Media. Again, like this video, like and subscribe to the Brass Ring Media YouTube channel, and check out all the other shows. Dominic's show is great. The Kick-Ass podcast is awesome, and we've got a ton else going up with Robert and other members of our team. So as Sean says here, become a member. That's from a member, unsolicited. Adam says, join. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. And join. And you can get started right away. Patreon.com/Brass Ring Media. Also shout out our Substack. We do a newsletter almost every day with our written content, and you can engage with that as well. Totally free to subscribe over there. Just search Brass Ring Media Substack and we'll come up. Any final words, Tyler Sage?
No, I don't think so. We'll see you all for the Gauntlet Double or Nothing preview on Thursday.
Don't miss it. It's a gauntlet indeed, and we'll see how many matches they add before then. But goodness, yeah, we'll be live Thursday afternoon, so don't miss it.
Big Boom AJ's up to on the pre-show.
Oh, God. Is he coming back for another match?
No, I don't think so. I just or the maybe for if we do a Patreon show. We never talked about the Ricochet situation with what the heck was going on with that.
Which one?
The guy with like one leg that wrestled in Ring of Honor.
Oh, Zach Allen?
Yeah, they tied it from Collision. At least very strange. I thought that decision and so yeah. Well,
it's like of all the things, yes. Gosh, okay. We'll talk about this on over.
Yeah.
I
forgot to mention that I wanted to talk about that choice. It was very much like a 2019 AEW choice. I thought.
Oh, interesting tease. Okay, all right. I think I have a different opinion on that, but okay. All right. That's a tease. Join us on Thursday, guys. We'll be in the afternoon. I guess talking a little Ricochet, but also previewing Double or Nothing. Big weekend for AEW, and join us then. Thank you once again so much for being here. We appreciate it. We'll catch you guys next time. Talk soon. See ya.
Bye.